Hey, welcome to Trap Souls. I am Ryan.
I'm Erin.
Sarah.
And we're here with our special guest, Sarah. You guys might have saw her on YouTube. We put a little video up of Sarah's revenge. And we want to talk a little bit about that. Sarah, so it was supposed to be a solo, it wasn't?
No.
Why wasn't it a solo?
Well, one, because everybody was late. So
Dark as
you
dark.
told me that we'd have everything set up, and I would be up there before the sun went down.
I mean, that was a straight out lie for me.
Well, I mean, I took it as the truth. So nobody was there. So actually, it was because I was scared as fuck. So
There it is.
yeah.
So yeah, she was scared, and she did say she was going to do it, but it worked out. We had Carly there, and she's never done an investigation before, so it worked out. You got to take her up there. What was her experience like in the beginning, like when you guys were just up there by yourselves?
The only thing, so I don't know. There was that like growl, that grumble, and it was on the interview, or not the interview, what was it called? The solo thing?
Yeah.
It was on that, you heard it. And I literally, in the video, I look at her and I said, you heard that, you heard that, right? I think at that point she was like, what the fuck did I get into? Because she didn't expect it. You know, the first night when I left early after my calf, I went straight to her house because I'm not staying anywhere by myself in the near future. And I slept with the TVs on, the lights on, whatever. She left for work and I was like, yeah, it should be okay. That door shut. And boy, did I limp my ass right the fuck out that door. So I think she kind of expected, she thinks I'm dramatic. So I don't think she expected anything to actually happen. And when something happened, she was like, oh, she's not being dramatic. There is actually shit here.
Yeah.
So she also isn't as big as a scaredy cat as me though. So she was like, she acknowledged it like, okay, yeah, there's shit here for sure.
Yeah.
But like, you're still dramatic. So
Yeah, I think
it interests her for sure.
watching that video, yeah, she realized there's actually real stuff out there. But she like just said, oh, there's real stuff out here.
Yeah, she doesn't get scared by it.
Yeah, she asked a lot of good questions. She got
Yeah.
toward the end of the video, you can say she got more comfortable asking
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, I think she was a little camera shy at first, a little solo. That's the first time she's ever done anything like this. First time she's met all of you.
Yeah.
So I think she was a little like shy at the beginning, but then after I was like,
I think
what's up? What are you mad about?
Yeah, I think the one thing that helped is you, because you started asking questions. I mean, I was a floor below you. I was watching on camera, and my phone's blowing up a little bit. Like, what do I ask? And I'm like, I'm not going to answer it because you know.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
true.
I think letting you go, you asked a lot of good questions. You took it, I guess, personal. Like you took
Hell
it,
yeah, dude, I was pissed.
well, not in that. You took like your experiences and you being a girl.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You asked a lot of good questions.
There's a lot of growth too with you
Yeah.
that I've seen since we've started doing this. So yeah, you're still scared,
Yeah,
but
I am.
I feel that you're actually getting out there more, and you're putting yourself out there more in this whole situation.
Yeah,
So.
I gotta say, it being my second time there too definitely helped.
Yeah.
I don't see myself doing anything along those lines the first time I went, because the first time I was terrified. I wouldn't even, when I was walking, I wouldn't even look up and walk straight.
We barely got you up to the attic.
And I lasted 10 seconds until my calf muscle decided to blow up. So
So what'd you think about did you watch the video?
yeah.
Yeah, what'd you think about when the EVP said I did that?
I got scared. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like,
It was,
why? Why would you do that? For what?
yeah, I mean, it was
Answering your
It
question.
was an interesting question because it wasn't really a question. You're just telling Carly how you got hurt
Yeah.
and where you're at. Then all of a sudden, I mean, I'm just listening to this through my headset, and my eyes are right back, and I was doing it in the dark room in the living room. I did that. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, so a lot of these I watch in pieces because they scare me. So then me talking shit to this whatever's up there, And then it grumbles at me, and I'm like, okay, pause. And we'll revisit this. And then I'm telling Carly what happens, and then you hear that I did that. And I'm like, you know what? We're gonna have to wait until somebody else gets home. I'm not gonna watch this. And I'm scared to watch it in my house too. So for obvious reasons, but.
So I had one person at work came to me, and I told the story in I think the last podcast that he's like, "Hey, are you the guy that does a podcast?" I was like, "I don't think so." Like, and he's like, "You're Craig." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's my podcast." He's like, "I was watching that video." He's like, "I turned it off when he heard that I did that." He's like, "I cannot watch it anymore." He's like, "That's freaky."
Yeah. Yep.
But I mean, the good thing is, like for you and most of us, is we don't hear that till
After. Dude, if I heard I did that over my shoulder, I would have been gone. I would have ran faster than I've ever ran.
I wonder what she would have done at Bel Air.
Yeah, I mean.
Bel Air was rough.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was rough, but it wasn't. Like, you just saw a lot of stuff.
It was impressive.
Yeah, it was impressive. Like, saw shadow figures. The SS method was great. We had a lot of stuff out that. The team got scratched. I mean, it was, I don't want to say cool stuff because scratching, but it didn't happen to me, so it was cool. So yeah, Bel Air was interesting. I think after Bel Air, like everything else just kind of mellowed for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not really scared to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I never really was. I might get that little nervous feeling. I still do it. You know, I'm like, at Ross house, I was like, "Hey, solo." See ya.
Yeah, you
And
did.
I just went down and did a solo in the basement. So we're wrapping up the year. Our first year as Nuclear Soul Seekers. When you started, rumor has it I made you do this. It's just a rumor.
It's not a rumor. It's not a rumor.
But how do you think the year has gone for you? Growing.
As far as goes?
Yeah.
Well, when the one in my house still bothers me, I still get pretty fucking scared. So I don't think too well. I think, like, you know, I think it's one of those, like, I'm more comfortable in Madison. Did you hear that?
That was someone else.
I think the cat's meowing. But I was more comfortable in Madison because I'd already done it. I wasn't really happy about going back in the attic. Being that we were in a big group, made it easier. Kind of almost took the fear away because there were so many people. But I mean, my dad ended up having to have that surgery. I missed the big one. Yeah. And then that other weekend when you guys went to Ross?
Yeah.
I couldn't go. So I guess in Madison I'm more comfortable, but overall, like, if I'm walking through my house, I still don't look into the dark spaces of the bedroom doors being open. I'm still not cozy with ghosts.
Well, I mean, I think you respect them more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I've never not respected them because I'm like, mind my P's and Q's. I'm going this way, you're going that way. Let's not brush shoulders. I'll move out of your way. You don't have to move.
Yeah, but I think now, like, you're like, what's up? You know, I'm going this way before you run, and now you're like, hey,
Okay, just don't touch me.
Just don't
I
touch
guess
me.
it's progress. I can sit in the room with them now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I like burn the building down. So that's good.
Run down the hallway, screaming.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as a whole group, Erin, how do you think that we've progressed?
Progressed or progressed?
Progressed.
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 Sounds better than progressed.
Progressive.
As a
Call
group,
flow.
as a group as a whole, I think that we're getting more with. I can't use words. Sorry.
Progress.
Progress through me. I think we're getting our act together, if you will. We're better with question asking, with how we're looking at each situation that we're in. It is, again, growth, like what I said with you. I think that we are not so, oh my God, what was that? Oh my God, what was that? Now it's, okay, you're listening to it, you might hear something, you can move forward with it, as opposed to that panic moment of the cat ball went off, everybody's gonna, jump 12 feet in the air.
Yeah. Cat ball goes off and we're just like, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a group we have grown. I mean, obviously we changed some personnel. We have more people in the group.
Mhm.
Some that don't do as much, that are silent. But I think as a group, we're adding key pieces.
Mhm.
Reed, being part of the group, he doesn't know that yet. But he thinks he already is, but I don't know. He's a big positive influence on our group. He's not scared. I mean, he hasn't had that experience yet. I'm sure he will. I mean, he always says, I'm not scared of anything. No one's ever scared till
They're scared.
Ghost cat jumps on your face.
It hit me. Whatever it was,
Not just you.
ran across the floor and it hit me.
Yeah. So there'll be times he'll get that feeling. But he asks a lot of good questions. I mean, obviously he's doing a little more social media stuff for us.
Right.
Facebook Live, and we do have a new TikTok, Nuclear Soul Singers. Check that out.
Was it Nuke Spooks?
No, it's not Nuke
Nuke
Spooks.
Spooks, Draft and Duke?
It's nuclear.soul.seekers. He's running that, which is good because people ask me to do TikTok and I'm already doing too much. And I was like, dude, if you want to do it, do it.
Yeah, have at it.
Literally 2 minutes later, he had a page up and I already stuff on it. So we're hoping to get some videos out there, some shorts. I'm still working on how to do that. I did put shorts on YouTube, but I don't think it turned to shorts. It's just on my page.
Yeah, okay.
So I was told shorts are the way to get people to watch, and
Yeah.
I failed. But it's okay. We're over 800 followers now on our Facebook.
Hell yeah, brother.
For Trap Souls, I think like 85 for Nuclear Soul Seekers. But I think, again, as a group...
What's the difference between Trap Souls and Soul Seekers?
Nuclear Soul Seekers is our group.
Yeah.
Trap Souls is the podcast.
Word. Got it.
So when I wanted to do a podcast, I wanted a name for the podcast, and Nuclear Soul Seekers just did not sound like a good podcast name.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Trap Souls.
Yep.
That's what I'm rolling with.
Hell yeah, really.
So we added Chelsea also.
Yep.
To the group.
Yeah, we added Chelsea to the group.
Yeah, we had Chelsea to the group. I don't know her that well. Erin's cousin.
Yeah.
So she came down to Ross House with us. She did Madison with us. After Madison, we decided to add her to the group.
Yep.
And she did Ross House, and Ross House was quiet, but she did a good job there.
The thing with Chelsea, she's always had this. She's always said that when she's around, her energy chases things off. Not necessarily, but she has picked up on things, and she's not afraid of a lot of things. And this is something, again, she's not afraid of. She just kind of goes head first. Let's get this done. And she's a positive influence in this group too.
Yeah, and I think at first, I see a lot of people that don't know, like Sarah in the beginning didn't know what questions to ask. And she's kind of that way. Reed, when he was by himself, he asked a lot of good questions, but as a group, they don't. I mean, obviously the SS method with Tegan at the Rouse House, which we'll talk about, I was the only one asking questions. And I don't know if just people expect me to ask questions, but more people need to jump in.
I think they get shy.
I don't think they're shy, but maybe they're scared for the answers.
Shoot me down.
I did. Shot you straight down.
Oh yeah.
Just staring at the camera. Who cares?
That's what I was doing.
I know I saw you.
Just for like 30 seconds straight, I was just like...
That's pretty much it, but we'll make this a little longer.
Backtrack to Madison.
Okay.
From the second time I went, it was a lot more, I don't want to say dead, but like a lot more dead, like no pun intended. It was very like,
Mellow.
yeah, it was. I don't know if that's because I had temperature, the group size, if there was just too much, if they were tired because it was You know, I'm pretty sure it was right after Halloween.
It was after Paracon too.
Yeah. So, but
Paracon.
Carly, we were upstairs. We went into the man's doctor office where we did the procedures, and it was just the girls who went up there to try to upset him, try to bother him, and he wasn't really doing anything. And at one point, one of them said something like, "Touch one of us," and I said, "Don't touch me." And I think she said, "Touch anybody but Sarah." Then, and Carly said, "You can touch me because I need to feel something before I leave." And then within 5 seconds, she was like, something's got my arm, something's got my arm. And then she started, you know, when someone were to grab your arm, how you get that little tingle? Yeah. She started to get that tingle down her arm into her finger. So there was something that did to be like, okay, here's what you wanted, here it is. Get it.
Yeah.
But she definitely felt it.
Yeah.
So that helped with her, okay, there is shit out here. She doesn't get scared.
Yeah, I mean, it was mellow, but obviously we know stuff is there.
Yeah.
But again, we had a big group, which is fine because we had Baja, Britt, Reed, a lot of new people, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Lansky came. Right?
Yeah, Matt. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, we had a lot of people that might have had something to do with it. Temperature might have had something to do with it.
Yeah.
They had MadCon right before, which was like 4,000 people. So, we don't know the main factor why nothing really happened. That's why we're going back at this month. It's cold.
Yep.
It's going to be real cold.
Yeah.
So dress accordingly. And we're going to see if the temperature does have something to do with it.
Okay.
Which is kind of hard because Bel Air was like 150 degrees.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
Maybe because that's hell.
But see, the first time we went, that grave room, I was literally shoulder to shoulder, Erin and Craig, was afraid to move, was afraid to look up. Like, there were shadow things on the wall. The rods were moving. It was... And then I went in there the first time. It even smelled different. It didn't... I mean, there was nothing. And then usually, walking in, I remember the second time, the first time we went to Madison, we went back to the room to do whatever. And I literally stopped before the door and I was like, it doesn't feel right. And Erin was like, you don't have to go if you don't want to. And I was like, no, I'm still going to go. But my stomach's queasy. This doesn't feel right. So there is something. Through that entire hallway, all the way in, there was nothing. So I don't know if they moved. They're playing hide and seek because it was Halloween. Boom. You know, I don't know what was going on, but even that, the second time, even in the grave room, that was one of the hottest areas. There was...
So I've never really gotten anything out of grave room.
No.
No.
Okay.
Usually static and in the background.
The drunk tank is where I have a lot.
Well, the drunk tank, we saw something come out. And then she said, "Is that you, whoever?" And he went right back.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh. But then even this last time we went, there wasn't really anything.
Yeah. Last few weeks they've been getting a lot of stuff out there, it seems like.
In Madison?
Yeah.
That's good.
Videos I'm seeing and people posting.
But like what you were saying with the fact that they had MadCon there, I do think that the more people that they've had in that area in that time leading up to, the next group going in, yeah, it does suck up a lot of energy.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of... Because, in my opinion, it's an energy force that is a spirit. That's what's feeding off of our energy and our fear. And I think that's why, it boosts it up so much. But I feel like at that point, it was too much. There was too many people in and out.
I mean, just think if people just kept coming to your house every single night.
Right.
You're going to be like, dude.
Oh, you're like, I don't want company.
Yeah.
Your significant other's like, too bad.
Don't talk anymore. Hide.
I'm done.
You're like, alright, well, I'm gonna go to bed then. You get yelled at, so you can't go to bed. So you're stuck with it. And then you're just like, on the couch. Hey, can you please leave? That's not what they're doing.
Well, I mean, I think it goes in stages. Like, yeah, we can have fun, we want to talk. Then too many people, then they're like, we're going to scare these people so they never come back. Then people keep coming back and they're like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, enough is enough.
Did you have Sidewalk on yet?
No, not yet. I'm trying to.
Interested.
That'll be a good one.
And then Sheer.
Scotty, yeah, that would be good.
But we're going to have some more guests on in the future.
Yeah.
So we'll talk a little bit about, I guess, our evidence that we've gotten this year. Like, what do you think some of the best techniques for evidence?
What do you mean by like best techniques?
I mean, we have cameras, we got cat balls, we got EVPs. I mean, what do you prefer to use when you go out?
Personally, myself, like, because I can pick up on things and I can feel things. Being there, I do like using the recorders. I will say that because that's going to pick up something that I'm not necessarily going to hear. I don't know how I feel about, I mean, the cameras, sure, if you can see something, but I prefer to use the recorder or even the cat balls. It's so simple and it's really hard to screw up. So you've got that. So that's my.
I mean, the one thing that I don't know how to say it. Like, we're trying to gain like interesting stuff, so-called evidence, because that's what we do and we want to show people. And personal experiences are great, but do people believe you?
Right.
That's the hardest part about personal experiences. Now, as paranormal group, everybody gets that EVGBs, whatever you want to get. You walk into a room and be like, it's not good in here, but I'm going anyways. Like, Sarah should walk right in. She ain't scared.
As long as someone's with me.
So, I mean, I think EVPs are best type of evidence. Cameras, I don't do much.
Right.
I'm starting to do a little more because I think 99% of so-called evidence is on EVPs. And cameras, you might pick up some. Let's talk about orbs, since we're on the topic of stuff.
Dude, I actually have a picture, and there's an orb in it.
Okay.
But you said that, so it is on my mind. But so my grandma died. It was the first time that my mom's side of the family got back together. They came up here, and my aunt and I, we were all, like, me and my aunts, my mom, my grandma, all really close. Like the girls. We were all really, really close. And this was the first time that I had seen them. They came up here and got a cabin on the lake. We went down to the actual water, and she pulled out her phone and was like, Sarah, let's take a picture. So we take this selfie, and we look at it, and there's an orb in that picture. And that has to be my grandmother, because who else? I don't know who else that would be. Why else something would be there?
So, I mean, I'm not a big believer in orbs.
Doesn't surprise me. I hope an orb fucking shoots across your face like a fucking shooting star.
So, I want to tell you, I do believe there are orbs out there.
Okay.
But I think 99.9% of what people claim that are orbs is dust or bugs.
Dust, yeah, correct.
So how do you tell the difference?
One thing that I look at when I am looking at something that has an orb, usually in video especially.
Oh man.
Why
don't you have service? Oh look.
Oh.
I don't know how you would. Were you say it's dust from the water?
Zoom out.
On that very calm lake?
I mean, people could say it's reflection of sun off the lens.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not.
Right.
Could be.
That's the whole thing.
Not believing it.
There's always something that someone can say to try to debunk that. And honestly, like, it could be your grandmother. And that's fine. It's possible. But there's so much other stuff. That's why I don't like orbs, because there's so much.
There's no hard evidence.
Yeah,
there's no hard
other stuff.
Yeah.
When looking at, especially video, something I am always trying to define is movement of it. So, is it traveling in like a nice linear path? Is it, going up and then shooting, coming back? If it's really erratic, makes me think more. And then, okay, what time of year is it? Is it a bug? Like you said, is it dust? Is it, did the heating system or cooling system kick on? But if you can kind of like break all those things down and you're looking at it and you go, well, I wasn't in anywhere that there was bugs. There really wasn't any sort of, wind, air movement. And it was a very erratic, because usually you're going to see things when they float, it's a float. But if they're like boom, 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 that's going to make me think a little bit more to, okay, why? Why did it move in that pattern?
I mean, the problem is a lot of insects do different types of insects.
Right.
Do fly different
patterns. But that's what I'm saying is like, okay, there's no bugs. There's no, breaking down all of those. Well, no, not that there's no bugs, but like breaking down. Okay, in the dead of winter, are we going to have a bunch of bugs flying around? No, not really. So.
I'm just saying there's too many other factors.
Right.
I'm not saying there are no such thing as orbs. I think it's just too hard to say yes, that is an orb.
Okay.
That's why I like EVPs. Like when you hear something,
You hear it, yeah.
We have a couple at Ross House.
Okay.
Not much. Like,
Yeah.
I think there might be two. One decent one,
Okay.
and the other one's not. But we have a lot of evidence. I had a lot of questions, and I got some answers. from
Okay.
that, so it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Did you have something about Ross?
Not at Ross. At Bel Air. Yeah.
She had nothing at Ross besides some Z's.
Oh, I was a wreck. I fell asleep on the floor,
Yeah, actually.
face down.
Tegan do.
Me,
Yeah.
Tegan, and Chelsea.
Tegan had a game.
That poor kid was exhausted.
She did good though, so yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm dry. All right, well, we're gonna wrap this one up. So thank you for listening, Trap Souls. This will be our first live podcast because people ask me to do it. I hate being on camera, but we did it anyways. Follow us on Facebook, Trap Souls, or Nuclear Soul Seekers. Subscribe to YouTube, Trap Souls. It's where our videos will be and our podcast. More subscribers, the better. And we do have a TikTok, as I said before, nuclear.souls.seekers. We'll have some clips on there of our future investigations and our podcast.
Yep.
Did you get a hold of me? You know where to find me. Say it.